Good morning and welcome. We are wrapping up another week of daily video devotions with a devotion from 1 Samuel chapter 5. And if you remember our devotion from Thursday in 1 Samuel 4, you'll remember we left 1 Samuel 4 and the Israelites had just lost a battle against the armies of the Philistines. And not only had the Israelites lost their battle, the Philistines had also captured the Ark of the Lord. And if you tuned in on Wednesday, you'll remember I told you the Ark of the Lord is where the presence of the Lord dwelled in those days. So when the Philistines captured the Ark of the Lord, what they believed they had captured, they thought they had actually captured Israel's God. And see, they thought this meant that their gods must be more powerful than Israel's gods, or else Israel's God, or else why would they be able to capture Israel's God? So in chapter 5, we learned that when the Philistines capture the Ark of the Lord, they take it around their territories to different places. And one of the first places, if not the first place that the Philistines take the Ark of the Lord is to this place called Ashdod. And if you remember, the Philistines were polytheists, which means they worshipped a bunch of different gods. And in Ashdod, the god they worshipped was this false god named Dagon. And Dagon had a temple, so when the Philistines brought the Ark of the Lord to Ashdod, they set the Ark of the Lord in the temple of Dagon. And apparently there was this tall statue, this tall idol of Dagon. And the first night that the Ark of the Lord stayed in the temple, when they woke up the next morning, this idol, this statue to Dagon, had fell over on its face. And they lifted it back up, thinking maybe it was just some coincidence. But the second morning when they woke up, the Ark of the Lord is still there beside Dagon. And this time, not only has Dagon's statue fallen over on its face, but now the statue's head and its hands have been severed from the rest of the statue. And as I read this text the last few days, I kept thinking about how in the presence of God, the Philistines' idol, Dagon, came crashing down. And that got me thinking, in our life, we probably don't worship false gods, but we do have idols. And an idol is just anything that we put above God, anything we prioritize above our relationships with God. And this story about Dagon falling over not only once, but twice in the presence of the Lord got me thinking about how if we can return to the Lord, if we can make sure that we put God first in our lives, if we can make sure we prioritize our relationship with God above all else, then our idols, like Dagon, will come crashing down. So how can we make sure that we put God first in our life? How can we make sure that we prioritize our relationship with God above all else? Well, we do that by committing to spend time in God's Word every single day, and not only to spend time in God's Word, but to meditate upon it throughout the day and to think about how we can apply it to our life. We make sure that we put God first in our lives when we commit ourselves to spend time in prayer throughout the day. We commit to put our relationship with God first when we commit to be a part of our church, when we're faithful to attend worship and other things that the church has going on, and when we're faithful to support the church in the things that the church is doing. So I want you to spend the next few days this weekend thinking about how can we make sure we're putting God first, that we're prioritizing our relationship with God above all else. And I want us to think about what idols we have that need to come crashing down. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day and a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you on Monday for 1 Samuel chapter 6.